The 6 to 7 Figure Show, episode 104. Let's hit it.
Broadcasting from the Valley of the Sun outside Phoenix, Arizona. This is the 6 to 7 Figure Show. Tired of working so hard and having no time? Take your six-figure practice and turn it to a thriving seven-figure enterprise. And now, your host, author, speaker, mentor, and strategist, Frank Bria.
Hey everyone, welcome to the 6 to 7 Figure Show. I'm your host, Frank Bria. In today's episode, we are going to focus on rapid business growth. But first, a quick message from our sponsor. This episode of the 6 to 7 Figure Show is brought to you by High Ticket Program. Has the income in your service business plateaued? You're struggling to reach the seven-figure mark in your business, but don't have the time or the know-how to do it? In the High Ticket Program Accelerator, we guide you through every step of growth and scale, a process we call LEAP. Imagine having your world-class project team guiding you and your team through each and every step of pain-free growth, all with the goal of becoming a seven-figure enterprise and moving away from painful, time-consuming business operations and client delivery. Get a taste of LEAP in your own business by downloading our free high-ticket program core offer Black Book. It contains more than 60 pages of standard operating procedures for your business, including onboarding, customer service, graduation, financial management, and a lot more. You can get that for free by going to the show's homepage, 6to7.show. That's 6to7.show for your free Black Book. And now I am pleased to be introducing today's guest, Allan Dib. Allan is a serial entrepreneur, rebellious marketer, technology expert, and #1 best-selling author. He has started, grown, and successfully exited multiple businesses in various industries. Allan grew his business from startup and 4 years later being named by Business Review Weekly as one of Australia's fastest growing companies. Allan, welcome to the show.
Hey, Frank, pleasure to be on.
Absolutely thrilled. So tell us, what makes you a rebellious marketer?
What makes me rebellious is I don't follow the usual script that a lot of marketers follow, and I don't believe in a lot of the institutional kind of marketing that's out there. The stuff that's really kind of boring, the stuff that is ineffective. So I don't believe in any of that. I believe in taking an accountable, direct response marketing approach to marketing.
Yeah, it's interesting. So the word accountable sort of sticks out in that sentence. What do you mean by that?
Yeah, so a lot of marketing is kind of feels very, very fuzzy. It's like, hey, let's get our brand out there, or let's get our name out there, or let's try and get engagement or something like that. And last time I checked, you couldn't deposit engagement in the bank or likes in the bank or things like that. And so really, to me, the only measure of success whether a marketing campaign is successful or not is, did it make us more money than it cost us? So that's really the world that I come from, which is direct response marketing. And we really take a no fluff, no BS kind of approach to marketing and doing that kind of work.
Great. And right now, your company is called SuccessWise. Is that true? Is that right?
Yeah. So my company is SuccessWise. I'm also the author of the One-Page Marketing Plan, which has been one of the top-selling books in the marketing category for the last 3 years. So between those two things, I get kept pretty busy.
Yeah. So tell us a little bit about SuccessWise. What do you do there?
So what we do at SuccessWise is we help business owners develop their own internal marketing capability. What I've found is so many times I'll speak to business owners who say something like, I just want to outsource all my marketing. And, that was, I think, maybe a decade or a little bit more ago, that was probably possible. You paid a truckload of money to the yellow pages and your marketing for the year was done, right? So, but now marketing has just become so complex, so much more difficult, so technical in a lot of ways, that even if you do find a marketing agency foolish enough to kind of take on that kind of mission impossible where, hey, they're just going to do all of your general marketing for you, you're setting them up for failure and they're setting themselves up for failure. So what I advocate is that really one of your core roles as a business owner is marketing. And that doesn't mean you need to do all of the technical stuff like Google ads and landing pages and things like that. But
Right.
the strategy belongs with you. It's not something that you can kind of just hand off to someone else, because a lot of business owners, they feel, oh, great, we've outsourced IT or we've outsourced payroll. That worked really well. So, hey, let's just outsource marketing. But marketing is a core activity of a business owner. I think Peter Drucker said the two major activities of a business are innovation and marketing. And I thoroughly believe that. And so that's why I've really dedicated my life to helping small business owners develop their own internal marketing capability. And yes, of course, we use outside resources for specialist expertise like running pay-per-click advertising or whatever else, but really developing that marketing muscle, that internal capability as a business owner, there's really nothing more important that you could be doing.
Yeah. I mean, you're really differentiating marketing strategy from marketing implementation. And it's interesting that you mentioned this, because I have seen this switch lately from marketing agencies that used to say, hey, give it all to us. Like, we'll do it all. Just tell us. And now they are starting to push back on that a little bit, because I think there have been some major failures on some agencies' part to deliver. Marketing's become so much more personal. It's, as you mentioned, you used to just throw something in the yellow pages. That those days are over. It's all about conversation and how you connect. So what does an entrepreneur need to do who doesn't really consider themselves a marketing expert per se? They're just really good at the thing they do, the thing they sell. What kind of expertise or what kind of capabilities do they need to develop internally in order to get good at this?
Yeah, so you need to get, if you're serious about running a business, one of the transformations you're going to have to make, and that was a transformation I had to make early on, is go from being a business, being self-employed to being a business owner. Now, being self-employed or a freelancer is kind of like where you kind of do the work and you get paid for the work. Whereas as a business owner, you get paid for marketing the work and selling the work. So it's the difference between kind of being a doctor and a lawyer and making that transformation to say, hey, I'm a marketer, but I happen to be marketing medical services or legal services or whatever else, coaching services, that sort of thing. So you need to make that mindset switch. A lot of people are uncomfortable with that. And really, one of the concepts you need to embrace is discomfort for growth, because there's no growth without discomfort. And if you thoroughly refuse to say, look, I just want to do the technical stuff. I just want to do the doctoring, the lawyering, the coaching or whatever. I don't want to do any of the marketing or know about that. Then the best course of action for you is just to go work for someone else, because then you can, and there's nothing wrong with that. I used to think, hey, you're either an entrepreneur or you're a loser or whatever, but that's not true. Some people, they're just not cut out for the risk. They don't like it. They don't want to do stuff other than the technical work that they do. And so the best thing for those people is to either be like a freelancer where someone just hires you, pays per hour, or closely related is just being an employee working for someone else. And you're probably going to get a lot more freedom, a lot more benefits in terms of, healthcare and all of that sort of thing, dental, whatever it is, than being a struggling solopreneur or struggling business owner. So if you do want to go down the entrepreneurial path, now you need to learn the skills related to those two things, innovation and marketing. And so you've got to do what it takes to do that, and that might mean discomfort.
It's probably a lot of discomfort, and in order to drive the knife in the back a little bit more, I want to call out something you said, which I think is brilliant, and I really want to make a big deal out of. The thing that you said, which really struck me, is you've got to transform from basically making your money off of delivering the work to making your money off of marketing and selling the work. And I think for a lot of people, that is a huge mental shift for them, because they're, even today, I know pretty successful business owners that still think for them it's about delivering it's getting paid for delivering the work. And you're right, you have to jump over that. That is a really, really good way to put that transformation.
Yeah, it really is, and that's the mindset shift you've got to make, because it is frustrating, and I've been there. Like in my first business, I was a dead broke IT geek, and I struggled a lot because uh, I was technically better than all of my competitors. In fact, some of my competitors used to hire me to teach them on all the latest tech stuff, and they would run rings around us from a financial point of view, and I'm like, what am I doing wrong? Because I'm going to learning the latest technology, becoming certified in this and that, and understanding it better than all of my competitors, but they were doing better financially. And it wasn't until I had a chat with a mentor when it really came to a head. And I was telling him my tales of woe, and he said, well, when does somebody know that you're better than your competitor? I said, well, obviously when they buy. And he said, well, before they buy from you, they only know how good your marketing is, right? So nobody knows how good you are until they buy from you. Before they buy from you, they only know how good your marketing is. And then he said, it's as simple as this: the best marketer wins every time. And that is so true. I really wish the best product or the best service just automatically won in the marketplace every time, but it's not how the world works,
Yeah, and
unfortunately.
it's true. I mean, I think all of us know that because we've even purchased something from the best marketed product and found that it was lacking. Uh, Tell us a little bit about your book, One Page Marketing Plan. That seems intriguing. We can get us all on one piece of paper. What's the book? Take us through, and how does one use it best?
Yeah, so the before I ever wrote the book, the one page marketing plan was a process, and how it came about was this. So I was working as a consultant with many clients, as I do now, and one of the things I wanted them to do early on as part of becoming a client and onboarding is getting them to put together a marketing plan. Why do we want a marketing plan? Why do we want to plan with anything, right? We want to plan because, quite simply, professionals have plans. So I'll give you an example. So if you're in the military, you have a military operations plan. Your doctor has a medical treatment plan. If you're a pilot, you have a flight plan. So wherever the stakes are high, you have a plan. And so if you boarded an aircraft and you overheard the pilot speaking, and one of them said, hey, have you got the flight plan? And he said, don't worry about the flight plan. We know how to get there, right? You'd freak out. But unfortunately, that's how many people run their business. They have no plan at all. So they're just winging it. And when you look at small business statistics, we can see that there's a very, very high failure rate. So some people put it as high as 9 out of 10 of businesses fail in the first 5 years. I don't know what the statistic really is. Maybe it's 8 out of 10 or 7 out of 10, whatever it is. It's a very high failure rate.
Yeah, right.
And we seem to just accept that. We like, hey, that's the business failure rate, and I don't accept that. I don't think that's something that we should just be accepting as fact. If 9 out of 10 planes ended up in a crash, I mean, we would not accept that, right? We would say, hang on, like there's something going wrong here. So part of what I wanted to do is help businesses put together a plan for the most important part of their business, which is particularly the customer getting plan, which is the marketing plan.
Yeah.
And so I started to get a lot of pushback from clients. It's like, too difficult, too hard, too expensive, can't do it, don't know how, all of that sort of thing. And for the most part, they were right. Like, if I remember my own journey in my first business, I was smart enough to know I needed someone to help me put together a business plan. But that's unfortunately where my smarts ended. Like, I ended up hiring a consultant, paying him thousands of dollars, and he put together this big, long, thick plan. It had projections and charts and graphs and everything. And guess what I did with that plan? I shoved it in the top drawer of my desk, never saw it again until I was cleaning out the office when we were moving out to another office. Dusted it off, tossed it in the trash, and unfortunately, it wasn't very practical, wasn't very useful, because it was mainly a theoretical document. And so when I was working with my clients, I thought, I want to create something that's practical, that's useful, that they can actually literally use on a daily basis, could sit on their desk or be pinned up on a wall or whatever. And that's when I came up with the one-page marketing plan process. And so the process really takes you through creating a sophisticated direct response marketing plan, and you can literally put together that kind of plan in 20 or 30 minutes time.
Wow.
So it's easy to do. It's fast. It's a single page, which means if something changes in your business or you get better or more information at any time, you can just update that plan. So if you know now that you've got a message that connects better with your audience, you can say, great, I'm going to update my marketing plan with that. And you've got that. You don't have to kind of rehash a 70-page plan or whatever else. So it's practical and it's usable. And so I found that compliance rates with my clients absolutely shot up. So people went from never having a marketing plan ever in their business to now they've got a sophisticated direct response marketing plan. And most important of all, this is the feedback I got, they got clarity around what they should be doing from a marketing perspective, because a lot of business owners suffer from kind of following that bright shiny object syndrome where they just don't know what to do. You know, their friend says, hey, do Google ads. Their other buddy says, no, do Facebook ads. Their brother-in-law says, no, you got to do a rebrand or a new website or whatever it is. And it's confusing. I've been there. I know, like, you know, when there's all these tactical things and you're not sure what to do, you really need a plan that will help you get clarity, where you can look at the big picture and say, right, what's our target market? What's our message? How are we going to reach them? How are we going to nurture them and convert them? And so that's all the things that we cover in that one-page marketing plan.
Nice. Yeah, I love the simplicity of that concept. And to me, it feels like that's the real value add that any consultant or, you know, service provider can bring to an entrepreneur, is to reduce things down to clarity and simplicity, because otherwise things are incredibly chaotic. What kinds of companies are you working with now at SuccessWise? What's a typical client profile?
Yeah, so the typical client profile. So we've got a few different products and services that we offer. So at the low end, it's just like the book, which you can literally get for, I think, $2.99 on Kindle. Then we also offer a course based on the book, where we will walk you through step by step on the one-page marketing plan process, but more important, just going beyond the book and implementation. So how do we practically implement the plan in a business? Then we also have a coaching program and a certification program. So the coaching program is where you'll either work one-on-one with me or with one of my team members, and we'll work on a planning and implementation and metrics, and then the tools and the assets and the processes that you need to implement all of those things. So that's part of our coaching and consulting program. And we work with businesses typically in the coaching and consulting program. We've got businesses that are typically in the $1 to $20 million revenue range. We're usually working with the business owner themselves. We're helping them really build their marketing team and build their marketing capability. And these are all people who generally want to level up. They're not people who kind of want to just coast at their current level or whatever. And they also believe that marketing is a way that they can level up. So, you know, some people say, marketing is a waste of time, or advertising doesn't work in my industry, and so on and so forth. These are people who actually believe that marketing and advertising can work for them and can be a path to leveling up. So that's the customer profile. For coaching, we also have some startups and people who are below the $1 million level, and they're people generally who are using our course and our course material, and really just starting out and trying to get some of their systems built and some of their marketing plans built and things like that.
Right.
And then we also have a certification program where we certify other coaches, consultants, and marketers to help people implement the one-page marketing plan process, right, and how to build a 6 or 7 figure consulting business around helping other people with their marketing. So there are a few of the ways that we help people at the moment.
Yeah, it's a well-rounded set of offerings. That's great. We're kind of running out of time, but I want to ask you, because you've got great experience, you've grown businesses, you've sold them, you've exited them. So if you could go back to the beginning of the process and whisper into younger Allan's ear one piece of advice that would have made that process of growing and exiting and all that a little bit easier, what would that be?
Wow. There's many, but I think the one piece of advice, the thing that could have really shortcut my success process was to hire a coach much earlier on. You know, I spent about a decade learning things by trial and error, by attending seminars, by reading books, and all of those things were valuable. Like I'd get something from each of those. Like rarely did I do something in my self-education where I thought, no, that was a complete waste of time. I usually got something, but I could have really accelerated my progress by having hired a mentor or a coach much earlier on in the process, because that's someone who can really help you shortcut that process, who can say, look, these are things that are not going to work for you, and these are things where there's a much higher probability of success. And so getting that kind of guidance much earlier on would have been valuable to me.
Solid advice. I love it. That's gold. Absolutely. I'm a fan of mentorship myself. I totally agree. And I probably, would as I say, I resemble that remark. I probably as well spend a little bit too much time trying to figure stuff out on my own. So, Allan, I love it. Thanks so much for spending time with us today. As the audience is listening, they want to hear more about you, the book, the kinds of things you're doing. What's a great way for them to start connecting with you and learning more?
Yeah, so you can connect with me on my website, which is successwise.com. You can download a free copy of the one-page marketing plan canvas. So that's the one-page marketing plan canvas, which will help you lay out your own one-page marketing plan. You can also grab my books wherever books are sold, Amazon, Barnes & Noble, everywhere else. It's called the One-Page Marketing Plan. And yeah, I'd love to engage with your audience and continue the conversation.
Great. Excellent. Well, that link is on the show notes page and below the video. If you're out and about listening, come on back to the show notes page and click on through to connect with Allan and his team. Allan, thanks so much for being with us today. It's been a pleasure.
It's a pleasure, Frank.
Thank you. And thanks so much for being with us on the 6 to 7 Figure Show. I've been your host, Frank Bria. Just a quick reminder about the free high-ticket program Core Offer Black Book. Contains more than 60 pages of standard operating procedures, how to run your coaching, consulting, and expert-based service business. You can download that for free at the show's homepage, 6to7.show. That's 6to7.show for your free Black Book. We'll see you on the next episode of the 6 to 7 Figure Show. Make it happen. Bye-bye.